I did not know that you could send messages on Instagrams. Now, my entire goal is to have the peanut gallery laugh.
Let's see.
How do I do it?
You barely make us laugh. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Wow. That's hurtful. That's hurtful.
Good.
Welcome to Curious Public. My name's Dutch.
My name's Jules.
Angelita Dion.
Did you say I'm Helita? Helita Dion? Is that your name?
Did you guys watch that show, Marimar?
Yes. Next to Sábado Gigante.
Yeah, Sábado Gigante. Yeah, that was really good.
Okay, so what does that have to do with what we're doing today, guys? Huh?
Because that guy over there took. I think he took like Latin or whatever, right?
Ancient Greek.
Ancient Greek.
Oh gosh. Well, anyway, guys, welcome to another special event here on Curiosity Public. We're going into round 2 of our best tequila blind challenge. Oh. So you saw the first round. We had 5 different brands, 5 really well-known brands, and of course, as soon as we release that video, everybody says, "Well, what about this? And what about this?" And
that's what I said.
What about that?
And that's what we said. And then we said, well, hey, let's do it. Let's see what happens. For a while, we were thinking we'd take the winner from the first round, but then we said, no, let's just have 2, maybe 3, maybe even 4 rounds, and then bring the winners together. So here in round 2...
It's like the Olympic trials or something.
Yeah.
I'm in the Twilight Zone.
Something like that. Well, anyway, the 5 brands we have today are, first up, Siete Leguas.
Wow.
Let's take a quick look at the bottle here. This is NOM 1120. Well-respected, well-known brand. Next up, Cascanes, which has got a little heat to it. This is from their new NOM. They did recently switch. This is 1614.
Oh, good.
Blanco, as you can see there, that's the back. So 1614, that's the new NOM they got. Next up is El Tequilino. And this is their premium Blanco, not the Mixto Blanco. And this is NOM 1108. Is that right? 1108? 1108, yep. Then we've got one of our favorites, a long-time favorite, Tapatio.
Tabasco sauce.
Used to be a great bargain brand. These days, it's not quite as much of a bargain as it used to be. 1139 is the NOM on this one. And if you're new to tequila, NOM is basically the designation for the distillery. So, and then finally, Don Fulano from one of our favorite NOMs, 1146.
Is it 46 or 47?
This is 46. I'm 46.
All right.
All right. So the way this is going to work is one of us is going to pour. The other is going to label them with different labels. We're going to come back. We're not going to know what's what. We're going to taste them blind, and we're going to pick our favorite. We're going to rank them from number 1 to number 5, and then we'll reveal our scores.
We'll do our thing.
See you guys in a second. All right, guys. These have magically been poured. Not magically. I poured them. Jules labeled them. We're now going to taste them. We're going to rank them, favorite to least favorite. And then we're going to venture guesses. I don't think that's going to go very well because it never does with these. Do you guys have any favorites going into this? One that you think is going to lead the pack? You don't have to disclose what you think it is, but do you have an idea?
No idea. I don't even know what we're drinking.
Do you remember the brands?
No. I remember like one.
This is going to be fun.
That's a tough one. I feel like I might be surprised by Siete Leguas.
Yes.
I might... I don't remember what the other one was, actually.
All right. Well, this will, like I said, this will be fun. We're going to taste, and we'll be back soon.
What are we supposed to do?
All right, guys. It's always tough doing these when you have 5 things to taste blind. It's virtually impossible.
It's harder when it's like how many unique different profiles.
Well, the thing that blows my mind actually is I have had all of these before.
Yeah.
And I can't pick a single one of them out.
Yeah.
I mean, I have some guesses, but man, this threw me for a loop, dude.
Seriously.
I gotta say, I mean, it's a
fun.
great thing. I mean, it's so varied.
Yeah.
It's varied.
In the aroma and the flavor, it's amazing.
All right, guys. Well, let's get into it. Let's kick things off with our discussion of the aroma. I had some interesting notes on the aroma. It was kind of layers of funk. The interesting thing I found on the nose was there was not a single one that was very, very bright, punchy agave. They were levels of cooked, but they weren't like the super, super bright, sweet agave. I'll go orange to green. So orange had a light bit of funk to it on the nose and a bit of agave. It didn't stand out on the nose to me, honestly. The blue was very mild cooked agave on the nose, kind of bland on the nose, honestly. The red was very, very cooked, very funky, and like rubbery. Like rubbery is the word I wrote down.
I think we all wrote that.
I don't know. Really interesting.
Yeah.
The yellow was also mild cooked agave. It was the most crisp of them on the nose to me. Probably my favorite one on the nose was yellow, so I'll say yellow. Yellow is my favorite on the nose.
Okay.
The green had a really deep funk and a saltiness, almost brininess to it.
Love it. In terms of descriptors for the nose, I actually wrote it down as, so for me, this was like agave spice. Like if I could bottle up.
What's that word?
Agave spice.
Agave spice?
Agave. If I could bottle it up, into a seasoning, that's how I would, agave. That's how I would describe this. This one I got like just core agave, so that's blue. Red, yeah, this is rubber. This was the Michelin Man. Yellow, I wrote agave sweetness, so I was getting a lot of that on the nose. And then green, Munster cheese.
So what was your favorite one?
Favorite ended up being on the nose. Ended up actually being yellow because I did like the sweeter
really
side.
interesting.
Okay. I agree. Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna start with orange. The orange minerality is what I wrote, and I thought I was like, oh wow, this aroma has a similar profile as a Fumé Blanc. There's like this interesting alcohol interplay with the fruit component that I typically nose in white wine. And I said, oh, okay, that's kind of an interesting, and it was very, very pleasant, I gotta say, and that's the orange. The blue was a representation of sugars to me. So this one, the blue, I thought had just what I would consider traditional agave plus sugars that you see in a lot of different presentations. This one, the blue, no one will complain about. Yeah. I think it's just a crowd pleaser blue, and that's what how I would describe it. Red is earthy, and I mean, it's basically like tires. It's like rubber.
Dumpster tires.
No, it's rubber component. Yeah. It's almost like, you're cutting pieces of rubber, and you're getting it all over your hands. You're like smelling all of that.
It's the Michelin Man, dude.
It's the Michelin Man, yeah. Yellow, I thought it started. It started with mint for me. It was very minty, and it had a little bit more of a subdued sugar compared to the blue, but it was very pleasant. But it was very mild, very subdued. The green had it's an exercise in fermentation presentation. And, I get this is why, I was just basically nosing cheese. But
it is salty.
Yeah, the agave's there. It's just cheesy. I mean, it's like going into a warehouse full of aging cheese, aging Parmesan or something. Yeah. And that's what it smelled like. So ultimately, this was really hard because to me, this is what makes me really happy. Exploring these types of aromas. Some might feel, a little bit put off by maybe the Michelin Man and the fermentation cheese, but, I accept them. I like it. It was very difficult to pick. Do I go for the Fumé Blanc, which was very pleasant? I ultimately just went with a gut and I just said blue.
Wow.
I said blue. I mean, on a different day, I might actually prefer green. the orange maybe. You know, those are kind of things that
just on the nose.
Just on the nose, not even the taste.
It's an interesting nose. I'll agree with that.
So blue for the aroma.
All right, let's get to the palate. Let's reveal what our favorite one was, and then we're going to rank them and guess.
Yeah.
Okay, palate, man. In a lot of ways, it mirrored the nose.
Yeah,
I agree.
So again, I'll go orange to green again. Orange, it just was excellent on the palate.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. Agree. Really nice cooked agave. There was a little bit of spice, nice amount of sweetness. It was well balanced. I think the balance is what won me out. Ultimately, I won't bury the lead. Orange was my favorite on the palate.
Wow. Okay.
We have a winner.
And my favorite overall, yeah.
Really? Wow. Okay.
The blue was very cooked agave. Less sugary, less sweet than than the orange and also the yellow. But a lot of cooked agave, very good, but I didn't feel it was as well balanced as the other ones, or as the orange and yellow, which were my other two standouts. Okay. The red was kind of bland, and the rubbery aroma carried to the palate for me. Like I just didn't. Yep. I wouldn't call it bad. Yep. It just was kind of. It was very different from the others. Among these, it just really stood out. Something red is rubbery in my palate, and I didn't like it as much. The yellow was a very close contender. You know, it was my favorite on the nose, and I it was very nice. It was fresh. It was a little more mild. The flavors were a little more subdued than the orange. That's why orange ultimately won out for me. But orange and yellow were my contenders. The green was very good, very earthy, very funky, and you know, it just was kind of the other end of the spectrum. Yeah. So I think there's people that would immediately pick the green as their favorite because they like that earthy funkiness. Yeah. I think I just skew a little more to where the orange was. So I liked the green, the yellow, and the blue as well. The red is the only one I just didn't really like that much. So we'll rank them in a minute, but go ahead.
Wow. So very similar, actually, and that's why I called it out already.
Our numbers are almost exactly the same.
Oh, man.
We're very close.
Yeah, orange ended up being my favorite. Yeah. So this one, again, I really like, similar to the nose, where I said like I would bottle up this as an agave spice. I was experiencing that. On the palate, and it tracked very nicely. And then you did get the sweetness there. More touch, I think I agree with you though, Dutch. Like this had more balance, which is why I think ultimately I liked it too. Blue was close second though for me. So this was number 2. Again, I liked it because of the agave core. It was really good, really crisp, clean. Awesome notes. Red, I completely agree with you, Dutch, as well, in that the nose tracked to the palate, and this was just a rubber experience. Like I thought I was at like an F1 racetrack, smelling all that. Yellow. So I did rank this last. Yellow, though, again, agave sweetness. I had a hard time actually. So yellow, blue, and orange were my top 3. Same. And I think it
took me a while to whittle them down. Actually,
yeah, exactly. And then depending on my mood, I could pick any one of those to be my number 1. But then ultimately, I chose orange. And then green, I wrote down Munster cheese with the nose. It tracked all the way to the palate. It was just too funky for me. But it ended up being 4th place. So,
well, we'll rank them in a minute. But
sorry.
Okay.
Just your favorites.
So I agree with you that I think the aroma kind of transition into the palate as well. The orange, I felt like, even though the aroma, I got more of like the kind of spectrum that I typically get in white wines. The palate, though, I didn't get any white wine, obviously. It was kind of traditional agave flavors. The spectrum was kind of. Nothing too. There's no skewing one way or the other. It was just kind of right in the middle. I think you interpreted that as balance for you guys. I just thought it was just kind of like right in the middle. It wasn't. It didn't give me anything really like bold or interesting. The blue, I thought, presented the sugars the best. I felt like agave was processed and bottled like a finished product that I would typically expect. And, it's like I was conflicted.
It might have been the most complex.
Yeah, I was conflicted because I was like, oh, man, like this is what we would probably pick on most nights to drink. Yeah. And then the red was, it's like this weird earthiness, a lot of vegetal flavors. It was very skewed toward like the fermentation process, not as much as I say the green, but I think because it had so much of the earth, it came off as like that rubbery, like smelling rubber, right? Yeah. Raw rubber. Okay. Yep. The yellow was minty and to me the least interesting in terms of the palate. I thought it was just kind of like all mellow, mint, a little bit of agave, a little bit of sugar, but you know, I think I would be a little bit more bored with this presentation. And then the green was fermentation once again. Yeah. And it wasn't like the rubbery, earthy. It was more like cheese. It was truly...
Funky.
Yeah, funky. Parmesan was just on my palate. I kept thinking that, like, it was in parallel with the agave. Like, agave still comes through, for sure. But, you know, I was also thinking, like, man, this is like cheese. So... That's kind of thing.
Ultimately,
favorite was blue.
All right. Wow. So we do have a dissenting vote here. I mean, let's get her into our rating and our ranking and our guessing. Okay. I will say though, you know, the yellow, the blue, and the orange. I think you were right, Dylan. Like depending on the night, or maybe you said it, Jules. I don't remember. But like depending on the night, I might pick any one of them personally. Yeah. Like they were all. I wrote down ones next to all of them. Yeah. Any one of those could have been my favorite. Tonight, I happen to like the orange one the best. That's really the only way to go. So let's go orange to green, and we'll rank them, and then we'll give you our guesses. So orange, I ranked as number 1. Blue was my number 3. Red was my number 5, last place. Yellow was my number 2, and green was my number 4. Wow. My guesses. And I've scribbled out and written down everything on every single one of these because there's only one that I felt kind of confident on. Yeah. The rest, it's a toss-up for me. Honestly, it's a complete toss-up. I just changed one right now. So I'll go orange to green again. Orange, I thought was Don Fulano. Blue, I thought was Tapatio. Red, I thought was El Tequilino. Yellow, I thought was Siete Leguas. Ooh. And the green, I thought was the Cascanas.
Oh, dude, we are really close.
I know, you and I are like on the same wavelength on this.
Yeah, so, all right, I'll go next. So, orange, I ranked as 1. Blue, I ranked as 2. Red, 5. Yellow, 3. Green, 4.
Yeah, we're really close.
Yeah, close. I think we just swapped.
Aren't you going to write all these down?
I should be writing these down, yeah.
And then in terms of guesses, so I orange, I guessed Don Fulano.
Oh.
Yep. So blue.
I changed mine at the last minute to Don Fulano, actually. Really? That's funny.
So blue, Siete Leguas. Or no, sorry. Siete Leguas. Red, El Tequilino. Yellow, Tapatio. And then green, Cascanas.
Interesting. Whoa. Interesting. It's so, I mean,
we're close,
first, yeah. Go
okay, so ranking first?
Ranking orange to green.
Okay, so orange actually was number 2. Blue was number 1. Red was number 4.
Interesting.
Yellow was number 5. Wow. And green was number 3.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, like green and the red. I know most people. It's like me liking Krugelliki, right? For example, you know, it has that funk, right? And people get put off by that, but I find it interesting. Interesting is good to me. Yeah. So, all right. Anyway, my guess is orange, El Tequileño.
Oh, interesting.
Blue, Tapatio. Red, Siete Leguas. Yellow, Don Fulano, and green, Cascanas.
So we all picked Cascanas as green, which is interesting.
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting.
All wrong.
I think the other one it could be is red, honestly.
Yeah. Because when I flipped between the two.
When I noticed
back and forth,
When I noticed it, I was convinced that was the
That's
Cascanas.
why I kept asking you, like, is the aroma flavor?
It's a follow.
So interesting. I can't wait to get the results. Before we do that, let's give you our final ranking. So, in first place was the orange. Okay. Second place was the blue. Third place was the yellow. Fourth place was the green. And fifth place was the red. So I think it's exactly as... No. It's exactly as Jules scored it, I think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a dissenting vote against the grain.
Here we go.
All right. Are you guys ready to reveal?
I want to know, but this is really interesting.
Do we go worst to best? That's what we do, right?
Or let's do green first.
So,
or it's not worst to best.
Right.
It's just.
But let's know what green is.
It is the worst.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Because we all agreed on green.
No. Red was our number 5.
No, red.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying let's say what green is first because we all picked.
Let's just go in order.
All right, fine.
All right, in 5th place, which was the red one, red was... We should have gone with our noses. I should have gone with my nose. It was Cascanas.
Oh, man. I wrote that first.
Man.
I did too.
That
did
first.
too. It says Cas.
Yeah, me too, man. No, I believe you right there. Wow.
Wow. So rubbery. And then what's green?
Seriously, what's green, y'all?
It's gotta be Seattle.
Well, we're going to find out right now. Green was our 4th place. Green was... We're all wrong. We're all completely wrong.
Of course, we all chose the same thing.
Green was Don Fulano.
No way.
Yeah, green.
No way.
Was Don Fulano.
No way.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Our guesses are all crap.
No way.
All right.
It's going to be so many X's.
3rd place. I know. I'm not even going to bother crossing them. They're all wrong. Just take them off the screen. Take them off the screen.
Wow.
No, we'll leave them. Okay, so 3rd place, which was yellow, was... I think I actually guessed this one right. Siete Leguas.
Wow.
Man.
Damn it. I wrote SL on that one too.
I think Siete Leguas. I did guess that one right.
Nice.
At least that's the last thing I can
Dutch
see.
got one. Yep.
I got one right. All right, so which means our number 1 and our number 2 are the ones left here, which would be the orange and the blue, right?
Yep.
I picked blue.
So
and we pick orange.
Orange was the winner. Orange was...
Uh-oh.
I gotta check this thing on.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, okay. Orange was...
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
El Tecalino.
I got that right.
Way. Wow.
I got that right. Look it right here.
I can't believe I thought this was fish. I mean...
Like it matters.
The funny thing is, you know, the reason I guessed it was the red was just because I don't remember. This is the only one I couldn't remember.
Wow.
But oh my gosh. Wow. So our runner-up, blue.
Which I picked.
Great showing from Tapatio.
That's what I picked.
Tapatio, man.
Oh man.
Tapatio.
But the winner, guys. I mean, let's get everybody off the table here, except for the winner.
No, leave the Tapatio.
El Tecalino.
Wow.
Orange, which was our winner, with 4 points.
Wow.
I don't think I would have predicted that.
Not at all.
I was really thinking it was going to be the Siete Leguas or the Don Fulano, but man,
Don Fulano.
So surprising. I just didn't realize how salty and funky the Don Fulano was.
Yeah.
I don't remember the Don Fulano.
I know. I just had this like a couple nights ago, but I think it's the context, man. When you have them like this in context,
for real, dude.
it's a different game. You know,
Totally different game.
It really changes the way that you perceive them.
Yeah.
But this is
They're
always
not in a vacuum. You
so
compare.
enlightening.
I love these.
Man,
I love it.
I love these.
I ranked Siete Leguas last.
Yellow.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, because
That was my second.
I just found it to be. I mean, it's really pleasant, but to me, it was boring.
That was close to being my number one.
I liked it too.
Man, I don't know, man. I am.
Dude, Cascanes, what happened here?
Yeah, the Cascanas really tasted rubbery.
It changed.
You know, I remember. I think we had this with Dr. Oju, right? And we kept talking about how did they like leave the oil on the machine?
Yeah,
or something because it just we all got this like
right.
oily, machine
type.
Really?
grease kind of flavor to it, and this was the only
Oh, I should have remembered that.
yeah. See,
I didn't get to try that.
but I didn't remember it being that rubbery.
Dude, yeah, this is seriously like you're hugging the Michelin Man.
Oh man! All right, guys. Well, this has been super fun. We love
great. I love these.
doing these blinds.
I guess I like Tapatio.
It's humbling, and it's always a little bit surprising when you do them like this. So, we always encourage you guys to try blinds like this. They're super fun. They might you might
share
be
your
really
results.
surprised. Share results with us.
Yeah.
If you guys have a favorite out of this lineup, if you've tried some of these,
But you have to do a 5-way.
You got to do a blind to know. I'm just so surprised by this. This is awesome.
I'm not.
Okay, great.
I'm not.
Oh, you're cool.
You're just too cool for school, man. All right, Jules, take us out.
Tell us what you think in the comments.
That's why I give this as gifts.
Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Either way, let us know. Subscribe for more videos for Curiosity Public. If you want to help us out, please consider joining Curiosity Private membership program here on YouTube and Patreon. We are also selling t-shirts. Links will be in the description. And we do have a podcast on all the major podcast platforms. As always, stay safe, stay healthy.
Stay curious.
Wow. What happened to Don Fulano?
I don't know, man. Like,
No, man, I picked it as number 3 for me.
Yeah, it was my number one.
That's the green? It was number 4 for me. That wasn't your number 1. It was number 4.
I thought it was my number one.
I know, but I mean, I literally was drinking this, I think maybe 2 nights ago.
Dude.
You know what? You know what?
And I couldn't
The
place
thing
it.
about Don Fulano for me was like it was underwhelming for me. I remember tasting it. So, I mean, I
don't like the nose of it. I realized the palate is
It still
actually
has that fermented,
the palate's
like the vat. You can almost like nose and taste the vat.
Yeah. So what was the blue? The blue was the blue was the Tapatio, huh?
Yeah. So to me,
So your Tapatio was your favorite.
This is my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great bottle. I mean, what's kind of interesting is the most expensive one, the Cascanes, was last place.
Ranked the lowest.
I think Don Fulano is probably the next most expensive, in 4th place.
Is it?
Yeah, Siete Leguas is cheap. Tapatio is cheap. El Tecalino is kind of in the middle. I mean, these are kind of on par, the Don Fulano and the Tecalino, but these two basically are the cheaper ones, I think. So you have cheap taste. It's good. With tequila, that's good, man. I mean,
Tapatio?
You just want to say he's cheap.
Yeah,
I agree.
He set that all up so that he could
it's
like.
for the joke, man. It's for the joke.
Yeah.
Well, it played.
Right.
Well, I get it.
Moral of the story.
No, he's got to.
Most
He's got
funny
to.
is that Dylan's cheap.
I'm glad that he punches up.
Oh.
Is that like Stallone punching up to Drago?
Yeah.
Drago! Yeah.
All right. Are we done?